I'm here to talk today about Southern California and our governor, Governor Newsom. I'm not going to call anybody names. I don't like people calling each other names. I'm tired of everything being politicized. I'm tired of misinformation. I'm tired of fact checkers. Let's start looking at some facts. The fact is, when Governor Newsom became governor, the first thing he did was move out of the governor's mansion. The governor's mansion had $4.1 million, or some close number to that, of restoration for Jerry Brown. So it's not a dwelling that people don't desire to live in. But yet Newsom felt that it wasn't necessary for him to live there. That was a slap in the face to Californians, in my opinion. How are you able to go buy yourself a mansion and live in it and look at your face in the mirror to us Californians? Ever since you became governor, I could tell most of the governors really didn't care about Southern California, the area where I've lived for 50 years. Us Southern Californians have felt the governors don't care about mid-California or Southern California. It's all about San Francisco up. And for this fact, you can't manage a state, one of the biggest economies and states in the world, in the country as well. You can't manage that. So anybody that thinks, or even you that think that you're going to be president, people should start looking at that as a no. No for Governor Newsom as a president, ever. You can't manage what you have. You make excuses. You don't hold yourself accountable. You wanted to have a meeting with Biden and Kamala watching when you preached misinformation. You talk about politicizing politics in the crisis that we just had and is still going on in LA. You make excuses about what misinformation is being spread around the country and in your state. It's a fact. Back in the days when Oregon and Washington and California, Northern California were burning, you tried to call it environmental. At the same time, the same county that had a big fire going on in California had a report and a picture of a guy throwing a Molotov cocktail in the middle of the forest. It wasn't environmental, it was a person. Down here in Southern California, a big wildfire ravaged Southern California in the hills just east of us. And it was started by people doing a gender reveal, lighting off fireworks in dry brush area. And it caught fire and it burned thousands of acres. I'm not looking for something to be bad done to those people. I'm not trying to put anybody down or call for anybody's jobs. But you need to be real and look at the facts. Thank God American people voted purple. It's not anything to do with R or D in front of it. It's purple because the common folk like this movie Bug's Life. The ants are tired of the grasshoppers taking all their profit, taking all their hard work, and putting them down. And they said enough was enough, just like we did in our country when we voted purple. This is a message to you, Newsom. This is a message to you to wake up. Resign. Stop. Let somebody that can handle the job take over. The same with Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. I feel bad for people, all people in a catastrophe, but we're going backwards. This state burned out of control before we inhabited it. What do you think the fires that were burning for months were doing to the air? It didn't matter because there was nobody standing up there and in their palace saying it's environmental. It just burned. The state burned. What do you think the pollutants in the air were doing? It was Mother Nature replenishing what needed to be replenished. Now, all these years later, we have technology, we have leaders, we pay taxes. We should be better. We should be better prepared. Yes, the devastation is very devastating. Could we have stopped it? No. Sometimes we can't stop it. But being prepared is what we want. Answers to how it's starting. And people being prosecuted that start fires so other people don't do it. That's what needs to happen. In LA, the guy that was caught by neighbors and detained him for starting fires in trash cans and brush was released by the police department. Why? Because they didn't have anything saying that he started all the big fires. Well, he has statements. You have statements for people that's witnessed him starting fires. Isn't that called arson? Don't you keep him under suspicion for arson? Maybe he's connected with other people in a case where they went out and started all these fires. But no, we just release him. That's the kind of thing that we're tired of. That's the kind of thing we're tired of. I'm tired of being called a bad guy because I have morals or values or I believe one way or another. Get off your high horse. You're not King Newsom. You don't live in a castle. You do live in a castle because you chose to. But what do you think's going to happen when you find criminals and you let them run around? You think you're protected? And when it does touch your neighborhood and when it does touch your house, oh my gosh, it's a big problem now. What have you done? You've banned menthol cigarettes. How about if you ban vapes? I work in a school district in California, Southern California, where you visited a few years back, hoping you'd visit our schools, our neighborhoods, see what we're about. Who did you go see? You met with the teachers union. The teachers union. What's going to come about that? And now even in our city where I live, they've adopted the dumb philosophies that you keep trying to push on us about building trains to take us from here to San Francisco and getting billions of dollars of money to put in your pocket and nothing's ever done. We don't need that train because my city followed you and they built a big articulating bus. They ruined local businesses. The bus drives around the lanes of the city downtown, zigzagging all over the place, almost at times dangerous, hitting other drivers that are in the lanes next to them. It's nothing against the bus drivers. I feel for them, that they got to drive an empty bus all day that's for nothing. And it took away businesses. It ruined parts of our city that's not coming back. It's decisions like this that are made that we're tired of. The people are tired of it. I don't want to hear anybody talk about environmental this, environmental that, politicizing it. Yes, the globe is heating up. Get over it, people. It's heating up. But instead of picking scientists and people that have one side, why don't you listen to all sides? People say that the earth is heating up and there's nothing we can do about it. You've put all your eggs in one basket. That's the problem with no balance. You push electricity, you made a mandate, there's no gas lawnmowers, there's no gas leaf blowers, there's no gas this, no gas that, can't have a gas generator. Well, when the power grid gets shut down, I'm going to use my gas generator to run my refrigerator so my food doesn't spoil. Matter of fact, when you gave us a credit on a Visa card for credits for COVID credit and gave us a Visa card, I went out and bought a gas-powered lawnmower before the law was in place, and I bought 2 gas propane generators for my family so that we could run when your power's out. And guess what? You put all your eggs in one basket all the time, there's no balance. We need balance. Wind turbines, gas, natural gas, electricity. But you put all your eggs in one basket and look at what it did to you. It failed you. It failed. People need to realize when they're put in positions of authority, like Mayor Bass, she talked about whether she wanted to take the job or not. She liked traveling abroad. I feel bad for her because I think she was thrusted in a position that maybe she didn't want or she couldn't handle. That's what happens on all levels, even with coaching. I was a coach offered a varsity coaching position but I feel like I couldn't give as much as I could give for the job of its demanding tasks at hand. Other people took it and they failed. That's the problem. Understand yourself. Can you handle the job? Should you take the job? Will you do good in the job? Balance. Balance is what we need. Prop 64 sticker. I go buy a catalytic converter for my car, $500 in the rest of the country, but Prop 64, once I tell them that I'm in California and I have to have it shipped to me, I got to pay double or triple that amount. How about if you put catalytic converters on the factories and the business buildings that are polluting the air? You set us back all those years with paying all that money for catalytic converters, doing right for our state with this fire that's burning. What's going back into the air? What's going to go back into the oceans and pollutants if we don't clean it up right? We keep having catastrophe after catastrophe, and it's just excuse after excuse. We're tired of it, and I'm glad we voted purple. It's not about misinformation. It's not about environmental. It's not about anything other than we're all standing around scratching our heads saying, why? Why the decisions? Ban menthol cigarettes. Prop 64. Environmental. When fires are being set purposely by people, that's not environmental. What's environmental is a government environmental problem with you and the others like you. And as far as your pact you tried to make a long time ago with Washington and Oregon and California and Arizona, forget that. Don't do it, people. Don't side by a person like this. Don't side with a person like this. It's going to do things what he's done. Take care of your state. It exists in cohesion with the people there. Create that environment where we can exist with cohesion. Clear out the forests. So you do a little brush burning or hire forestry services or police or other people to do their jobs. And in times that are good and there's less crime and there's less fires, don't cut the budget back on them. Don't fire them. Don't make them vax up to have their jobs. Good people are being lost because of dumb, ignorant decisions. Politicians not getting out of their own way to see what's good for the people. Well, the people voted. The ants voted against the grasshoppers. And people need to start realizing that. The speakers of the houses that talk like white noise, making, how much do they make? Triple digits to spin doctor and white noise, all of us? We're tired of it. It's done. If you're a leader and you have to have a spokesperson stand up and speak for you, I'm tired of it. Any article that I read that quotes a spokesperson, I just swipe it away and turn it off. Because I want to hear from the leader that's elected. What are they doing? What do they know?